Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about the signs of a toxic relationship and how to handle toxic relationships. The health status of any relationship can just be defined in two ways. One, it is either healthy, or two, it is toxic, in which case it is unhealthy, right? And then I'll be sharing with you how to deal with, how to recognize if you are in a toxic relationship and how to deal with, a toxic relationship situation. Okay, now I think we should first of all start with describing what a toxic relationship is. A toxic relationship is a relationship where your well-being is not a priority to your partner, where you feel unsupported, where you feel uncared for, where you feel attacked, where you feel threatened by your partner. It is one in which your emotional, spiritual, physical, whatever well-being is not being taken care of by your partner. While every relationship has its ups and downs and times where they have, a little bit of disagreement once in a while, for a toxic relationship, conflict is the order of the day. There's a lot of drama, there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of unhealthy conflict, there's just a lot of issue. Like the times where you have peace in that relationship is far infinitesimal to the times when you have joy and happiness and and good times. So when you weigh the good times versus the bad times, you have more bad times than you have good times. That's how to know that you're in a toxic relationship, right? I'm not saying there's any perfect relationship where you don't have challenges or you don't have issues, but when the issues are more than the happy times that you have or the good times that you have, then you're definitely in a toxic relationship. True love should never cost you your joy, peace, or happiness. When you find yourself in a relationship where these three things are absent, or you have more sad times than you have the good times, then you're probably in a toxic relationship. So you see how toxins are really poisonous to the body. They cause illnesses, they cause diseases, and even sometimes death. That's how it is in a toxic relationship. If you're with a partner who doesn't care about you and you're fighting all the time, like drama and fights at the order of the day, it can lead to depression. It can lead to, your partner, if the person's an abusive person, when you have issues, they smack you or they turn you to a punching bag, and eventually lead to death. Like, a toxic relationship can literally kill you, okay? So it is bad. That's why it's called toxic, right? The way toxins are not good for the body, that's how a toxic relationship is not good for you. So before I start listing all the signs of a toxic relationship, I want to just tell you how to know at the first instance, okay? The moment your relationship stops bringing you joy, happiness, and all those good stuff, and instead you consistently feel sad, you feel lonely, you feel anxious, you feel depressed, you feel all of these negative emotions consistently and even more than the good times, then you may be in a toxic relationship. One sign of a toxic relationship is that you feel controlled and manipulated, okay? When you have a toxic partner, one thing they will always do is to try and mold you into what they want you to be. They are persistently manipulating you and controlling you, okay? They're isolating you from your friends. They want to know where you are at every point in time. They want to know what you're doing. Who are you calling? Who are you texting? They are just like all up in your face and in your business. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you sign up to be in a relationship, it means you have an accountability partner, okay? I'm not saying like be free to go wherever you want to go without, telling your partner. That's not what I'm saying. Like, there's a level of accountability and responsibility that is required from you when you're in a relationship, okay? So in a normal relationship, if you want to go out, you just say to your husband, to your partner, look, I'm going out with some friends and this is where I am, okay? And the person said, oh, well, okay, it's fine. Like, let me know how you're getting on. But in a toxic relationship, they're probably asking you, so how many of your friends? What are their names? What location will you be in? What will you be doing exactly? Do you know, like, that choking feeling? That's what you get all the time. And sometimes you just find yourself doing things that you don't want to do just to make them happy or to keep them satisfied. That is, toxicity. And sometimes you obviously like just compromise on your values just because you want to make them happy. Or sometimes they even gaslight you to just manipulate you into doing the things that they want you to do. For them, it is all about them and nothing about you. They want to get you where they want you, and they will do anything to manipulate you and to put you in that place where they want you to be. Another sign of a toxic relationship is that you feel neglected and uncared for in the relationship. Now, one thing that toxic people do well with is actually making everything about themselves. Like, they want to be the center of attraction, they want to be the center of conversation all the time. They want their needs to be met, they want to be the ones receiving all the time and not giving to you. So when you find yourself in a place where you're the one making all the sacrifices, you're the one getting them gifts, you're the one doing things for them, and they absolutely do not do anything for you, then you should know you're in a toxic relationship. Like, even sometimes where you maybe complain or say things to them, they kind of dismiss your thoughts and your feelings and whatever it is you're going through, and they show no empathy at all. But what they are always good in doing is that they try to turn the conversations back to themselves. Like, if you complain about something, and rather than them just addressing it and say, oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, that wasn't my intention, let's assume it wasn't even their intention. Do you get what I mean? Because sometimes they actually do these things intentionally. Then they say to you, oh, well, it wasn't my intention, but I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry I did something that made you feel this way. And, just empathize with you and with your situation. But rather than that, they maybe like belittle you, shame you, or even blame you for what you were complaining about. Like, I'm not happy you did this to me. For example, you say that to them and they're like, well, you made me do it. You did this. Like, never taking responsibilities for something that they've done to you, or even acknowledging how you feel and saying how to walk through that situation with you. You are in a toxic relationship if this is your experience. In fact, one time I heard a story of, a particular guy who started, living with this lady, and he wasn't like contributing anything in the house. He wasn't buying anything. He would be spending her money. She was paying rent and all the bills. And then she said to him, like, look, do you want to contribute, to the bills and to stuff happening in this house? And she's like, well, without me, how have you been living before? Like, haven't you been taking care of your things? Before, why do I have to do it with you? Because I'm here. Well, fam, you're here, you're not paying rent, you're not paying bills. Like, the least you can do, right, is to contribute to things. But no, he wasn't doing that. And at some point, as I heard, she faked her eviction. Like, she was evicted from that apartment, and the guy didn't give a hoot. He literally packed his things and moved out. Like, he wasn't even like, oh, how do we pay for this thing? The guy moved out. And I'm wondering, like, how do you find yourself in that kind of relationship where you're with a partner and this person never ever cares about you? Like, they're living off you like pests. Do you get what I mean? Like, that relationship, that person is absolutely a pest. Like, always sucking from you and not giving anything back to you. Anyone who makes you feel short of yourself, do not contribute anything to you, even belittles you, makes you feel ashamed of who you are and what you do, all of those things, they are emotionally immature, and you should not be with that kind of person. A good partner will uplift you, encourage you, support you, contribute to things, get you things. Like, you're not the one always giving. And honestly, like, a good partner will always be there for you and ensure that you're in a good place and in a good shape, and they're not trying to tear you down or bring you down, but they're trying to do things, that will make you grow and put you in a better place. Okay? Another sign of a toxic relationship is that you're not your best self around the person. The moment you decide to get into a courtship with someone, or you're dating someone, or you're looking to marry somebody, you absolutely can be your best self around them. Like, you can be yourself, you can be happy, there's no need for pretense of any type when you're around them. But when you find yourself in a relationship where you are walking in eggshells around your partner, you can't even like open up your mind to them, you can't say things that you're thinking to them because they will judge you, or because they will go off on you, or be angry at the slightest provocation. You can't even share how you feel in your own relationship because you don't know how your partner is going to react. Then you're in a toxic relationship. In a good relationship, in a healthy relationship, it's a standard practice that you're able to share your feelings with your partner without fear of being judged, or them getting angry. free, like you are free to express yourself. But when you find yourself in a relationship where you can't express yourself because you don't know how your partner is going to take it, when you're pretending to be who you're not, when you're taking situations that you're not supposed to take on a normal day and you're not happy, like you cannot speak in your own relationship, you cannot talk to your own partner, you can't be yourself around your partner, then there's absolutely an issue wrong with your partner and with you. Actually, with the whole situation, okay? Because you should be able to express yourself in a relationship that you find yourself, and again, to your partner. Like, this is somebody you're looking to be the future with. Another sign of a toxic relationship is when you're with a partner who is jealous of your progress and your success. Girl or guy, look, if you're in a relationship where your partner, rather than being happy for you, for the achievements that you've had, no matter how little they may seem, then I'm afraid you're in a toxic relationship, because your partner should be someone who is happy to celebrate your wins with you. They are happy, like no matter how small what you've achieved is, they are absolutely happy for you. They are all over the moon celebrating your wins, pushing you up. They're happy for you. That is a very good relationship. But if you find yourself in a relationship where when you are achieving things, your partner just feels like, oh, what's wrong with you? Do you think it's because of this that you've achieved? Do you think it's because of that? Then that's a toxic relationship. When they can't be happy for you, when they're jealous, when they're envious of your progress, then even when they want to slow you down because they feel like, oh, you're going at too fast a pace, for a lady or for a guy of your age, like, hold on, hold on. If I'm succeeding, and you should be happy for me. And that's how it should be in your relationship. Like, if your partner is doing well, you should be happy for your partner. If you're not happy for your partner, then you are the toxic person. Also, if you're with someone who do not support you to achieve your goals, like when you tell them about your goals, they're like, oh, that's too big. Are you sure you can do it? You can't do it. No, when you absolutely bring your goals, your partner should be someone who's like, go on, babes, like you can do it, you can achieve it. They'll even help you with like strategy and plans and stuff like that. Not someone who wants to, pull you down. Another way to recognize, when your partner is toxic and when you're in a toxic relationship is that they never accept, responsibility for anything. Nothing is ever their fault. Everything is your fault or is the fault of someone else outside of your relationship. They keep pointing fingers at other people or never accept responsibility for anything that they've done wrong, and nothing is ever their fault. You are in a toxic relationship. If you see that they keep blaming you for everything, every single thing, or not you, they blame their parents or their friends or people other than themselves. Like, when things happen, you should be able to own up to your part in whatever it is that's happened. But when you see someone who's never accepting responsibilities for what they've done, then that's a toxic person. And you, my friend, are in a toxic relationship. So the $1 million question is, can a toxic relationship be fixed? The answer is yes. Okay? A toxic relationship can absolutely be fixed only if the two partners in that relationship, are willing to change their behaviors and work on their relationship. Because it takes two people to tango. It takes two people to fight. It takes two people to work on a relationship. If it's one-sided, then nothing is going to change that relationship. But when two of you come together and say, this is the situation in our relationship, you assess your relationship, then you know that, look, we've got to fix this relationship, okay? So when two of you are willing to work on your relationship, change your behaviors and become better, then you can fix a toxic relationship. Another way to fix it would be to talk to counselors or to therapists if you feel like you need therapy and, you know, two of you cannot, you know, come to a conclusion on how to better your relationship. Then it might be time to talk to counselors or to a counselor or to a therapist to just work through the situation with them. Also, you then need to define what kind of relationship do we want going forward. We've seen that we're not in a toxic relationship, but we want to become better. So what do we need to do to become better? What kind of relationship do we want? Put it down, write it down somewhere. Both of you keep going back to it and say, well, this is kind of relationship we want. What kind of behaviors are we expected to put on to get this kind of relationship? What are the things that we need to do, you know, to be able to achieve the kind of relationship that we want? And then you start working towards it. Another way would be, you know, once you guys agree to work towards it, always have like constant reviews. Maybe after 2 weeks, after a month, you then ask yourself, well, how have we done, you know, this week? How have we been able to inculcate the behaviors that we want in our relationship, things that we want in our relationship? How far has that gone? What more do we have to do? Just like constantly reviewing and assessing your relationship and see where it's headed. Okay, the only way that a toxic relationship cannot be fixed is if your partner is abusive, and that is an extreme case of toxicity. Okay, if your partner is abusive, don't stay in the relationship thinking, well, he's gonna change. You're gonna have to leave that relationship and work on the relationship from the outside before someone beats you to death. You get what I mean? Okay, so if your partner is abusive in any way, please do not stay there trying to fix it. Leave the relationship at first. Report to the authorities if you find it hard and difficult to leave the relationship, or if they're threatening you to do something to you, then, you know, try and report to the authorities and find your way out of that relationship. And if both of you are not able to work out something on how to make the relationship go forward, I'm afraid that relationship has to end, because again, it takes two people to fix what's broken. One thing I want you to know is that you are the only one who can recognize these toxic traits in your relationship and find these patterns in your relationship, because you're the one who is there, you're the one experiencing it, and you know. But sometimes you can find yourself in a situation where you are then like covering up for them, where for some reasons you know that these things are happening, but you don't know how to break free. You don't know how to get out of that situation you're in. And sometimes you are just even blinded entirely by love, so that you don't see that these things are happening. Like, you don't see that it's never going to end. Just like, well, I love them and I care about them. I want you to give your friends or your close bestie the opportunity to call you out when they see that you're ignoring certain toxic traits in your relationship. And if you are in a toxic relationship today, I want to encourage you to first of all try and fix that toxicity in your relationship, walk it through with your partner. But if you feel that your partner is not even interested in becoming better, don't stay in the relationship thinking, oh, one day they're just going to change. They will not change. I always say this: human beings rarely change, especially when they become adults. Okay, except they want to change, you cannot change them. So don't go into a relationship thinking, oh well, I know he's like this, but when we start dating, I'm going to change him. That's not going to happen. He's not going to change, okay, or she's not going to change. Just know that if they are not in the right, you know, place where you wish your partner to be at that point in time, don't go in thinking you can change them. All right. And if you are in a toxic relationship, I just want you to take the courage, you know, or in an abusive relationship, I want you to take the courage to try and fix that situation. But if you can't fix it, please leave. Don't think about, well, I've been with him for 20 years. I've been with him for how many, like, donkey years? What am I going to do? Where am I going to find a new partner? Well, you need to be alive to find a new partner, isn't it? Like, don't stay in a toxic relationship. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for stopping by, you know, my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, absolutely give it a thumbs up, and please, you know, share with your friends and family, and let me hear, you know, your experiences in the comment section. Let me know what you've learned, and let me know if you have, you know, any signs of a toxic relationship that I haven't mentioned in this video in the comment section. And also, if you want me to address any question, please do let me know, and I'll be happy to make videos to answer your questions or even answer them in the comment section. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.